$2.3 million. That's the number we're starting with today, and no, that's not a typo. And no, we're not talking about a mansion in Beverly Hills. We're talking about a barndominium. Every barndominium video you've ever watched stops at the same question. 1 story or 2? Nobody talks about 3. And once you understand why, the engineering, the financing, the real numbers, you'll understand exactly what it takes to build one anyway. Before we get into it, if you're into unconventional builds like this one, hit subscribe. We break down builds like this every day, real numbers, no fluff. The 1-story versus 2-story ceiling. If you've spent any time researching barndominiums, you've run into the same debate over and over. Is it cheaper to go up or to spread out? Almost every builder, every blog, every forum thread stops right there at 2 stories. And there's a real reason for that ceiling. Builders who've actually put up multiple floors report that going from 1 story to 2 adds real, measurable cost: more framing, a load-bearing wall at the floor truss center, lost square footage to the stairwell on every single level. Why the 3rd floor changes everything. Here's the part almost nobody covers. The moment you go to 3 stories, you leave barndominium kit territory entirely. Standard kits are engineered and priced for 1 or 2 levels. A 3rd floor means custom structural engineering, additional steel for wind and shear load, a reinforced foundation to carry 3 floors of dead weight, and a completely different permitting conversation with your local building department. This is exactly why 3-story barndominiums almost don't exist in the mainstream conversation. They're not a kit anymore. They're a custom build wearing a barndominium skin. Why U-shape? So if you're going to go through the trouble and the expense of building 3 stories, why do it in a U-shape instead of a simple rectangle? The U-shape wraps 3 sides of living space around a private central courtyard, which means every floor on every wing gets a view inward instead of just outward. It's the same logic luxury hotels use for courtyard-facing rooms, except here, the courtyard is yours alone. The courtyard pool, and at the center of that courtyard, a pool. This is the single decision that turns this from a big metal building into a genuine architectural statement. A courtyard pool surrounded on 3 sides by 3 stories of steel and glass creates a private resort feel that a standalone barndo on open acreage simply can't replicate. 3-story build. Think of it as a chain, not a box. Let's make this simple, because engineers make it sound more complicated than it needs to be. Every force acting on this building, wind pushing against the walls, the weight of 3 floors pressing down, has to travel somewhere. It has to move from the roof, down through the walls, down through the floors, and into the ground. Engineers call this the load path. Think of it like a chain. Every link has to hold or the whole thing fails. On a single-story barndo, that chain is short roof to wall to foundation. On a 3-story build, that chain is 3 times longer, and every additional link needs to be engineered on purpose, not assumed. Why wind is the real villain? Most people assume the weight of the building is the biggest engineering challenge. It's not, it's wind. A tall, wide structure like this U-shape catches significantly more wind than a low, single-story barn, and that wind doesn't just push sideways, it also tries to lift the roof and twist the frame. Standard engineering codes require the entire structure to resist that uplift and lateral force through a continuous, unbroken connection, steel strapping and engineered connectors tying the roof to the walls and the walls to the floor below at every single level. Skip that continuity anywhere in the chain, and you've built a weak point. Foundation and framing. In plain terms, that's why the foundation on a build like this isn't just a slab, it's an engineered footing system, sized specifically to resist the building trying to overturn or slide in high wind, with anchor bolts and reinforced concrete calculated for the actual load above it. And the lateral system, the part of the building that keeps it from swaying, relies on the columns, the roof structure, and shear walls all working together. It's not one part of the building holding it up. It's every part, connected properly, sharing the job. Setting the baseline now, let's build this out floor by floor. We're working with a 2,800 square foot footprint per level, 3 levels, for 8,400 total square feet of finished living space. For context, a standard finished barndominium in 2026 runs $65 to $200 or more per square foot, depending on finish level, with the national average project landing around $230,000 for a much smaller, single-story build. Our build is neither standard nor single-story, so we're pricing it as the custom, fully engineered project it actually is. The per square foot number, because a 3-story custom build falls outside standard kit pricing, We're using a premium custom finish range of $180 to $250 per square foot, accounting for the structural engineering, added steel, and foundation work we just walked through. At 8,400 square feet, that puts the core structure and finish out somewhere between $1.5 million and just over $2 million before we add the two features that make this build what it is. Getting up and down. The elevator. A three-story home without an elevator is a hard sell, both for day-to-day livability and resale. Three-story residential elevators start around $53,000 for a compact unit, with fully finished, custom cab installations commonly reaching $60,000 to $90,000 once you add shaft construction, permits, and inspections. The courtyard pool cost and the pool at the center of it all for a courtyard build like this. A mid to large concrete pool with quality decking typically runs $200 to $350 per square foot installed. For a generous 400 square foot courtyard pool, that lands between $80,000 and $140,000. Once you include basic decking and equipment. Adding it up, put it all together, $1.5 to just over $2 million for the structure, $60,000 to $90,000 for the elevator, and $80,000 to $140,000 for the courtyard pool. That brings our realistic all-in total to somewhere between $1.65 million and $2.3 million, and that's before land, permits, and site work. 2 loans, not one. So how does someone actually pay for a build like this? Barndominiums, even custom ones, are financed differently than a typical home purchase. In 2026, most lenders use what's called a construction to permanent loan. During construction, you're only paying interest on the money that's actually been spent so far, not the full loan amount, and funds are released in stages or draws as the builder completes each phase of work. Once the building passes final inspection and receives its certificate of occupancy, the loan converts into a standard fixed-rate mortgage, typically over 15 or 30 years. Why lenders treat Barndos differently? Here's the catch. Lenders view steel frame residential projects as higher risk than a traditional stick-built home, mainly because appraisers have less comparable sales data to work from. That means barndominium construction loans often carry stricter documentation requirements and a slightly higher interest rate during the build phase than the permanent mortgage that follows. For a build at this price point, well over $1 million, you're also outside the range most standard loan programs are designed for, which typically means working with a jumbo or portfolio lender who specifically underwrites larger, custom, non-traditional builds. The realistic path programs like USDA and VA loans exist for barndominiums, and they're genuinely useful for smaller, more modest builds, but a $2 million custom estate like this one falls well outside the income and loan size limits those programs are built for. Realistically, financing a build like this looks like a sizable down payment, a construction to permanent loan through a lender experienced with custom steel frame homes, and a builder with a documented track record, because the building itself needs to prove it meets residential code before any bank will touch it. Barndo money, mansion price. So here's the real question. At over $2 million, have we just built an expensive barndominium, or did we build a mansion that happens to be wearing steel siding? A traditional custom mansion of the same 8,400 square foot size, built stick frame in most markets, would land in a very similar price range once you account for finish level and site work. The barndominium construction method doesn't automatically make this cheaper. Going 3 stories, engineering for it properly, and adding a resort-style courtyard erases most of the cost advantage Barndos are usually known for. Who this actually makes sense for what you do get is speed of the shell going up. The open-span flexibility steel framing allows for those big courtyard-facing windows, and a floor plan that simply doesn't exist as a stock option anywhere. This build isn't for someone chasing the cheap Barndo dream, it's for someone who wants a genuinely unique piece of architecture, understands the engineering it takes to make 3 stories safe, and is willing to finance it like the custom estate it actually is. If you want to see the full floor plan breakdown for a build like this, let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more real number breakdowns of the wildest builds in alternative housing.